Hi, I'm here with Dr. Daniel Wallace, who is the Executive Director of the Center for the Study of New Testament Manuscripts. Dr. Wallace, what do you do?
We go around the world and digitize as many Greek New Testament manuscripts as we possibly can. It's a huge task because there's over 2.6 million pages of manuscripts to shoot and about 5,800 manuscripts.
Now, I know this is a little outside your field, but we are going to be talking about New Testament manuscripts, but I wanted to briefly mention Islam because in Islam, the third rightly guided caliph Uthman, there were so many variants that they burned all of the manuscripts to issue an official version, and that seems to be the opposite mindset that you have. You're looking for new manuscripts and variants, right?
That's correct. I think what you have with Uthman versus the early Christians is they regarded, as we do today, anything that's a translation is still the Word of God. Of course, for Islam, it's only the Arabic, but that was an apologetic motion or movement, and with the New Testament, the movement was really evangelistic. Let's get the Scriptures translated so more people can come to faith in Jesus Christ.
Now, with Islam, I've noticed it's becoming very common for Muslims to quote people like Bart Ehrman, because Bart Ehrman will refer to all of the New Testament textual variants, and Muslims are hearing this and they're thinking, this supports corruption. This shows that it's been corrupted over time, and they're working a Muslim view into that. They're thinking that there's something in the manuscript tradition that fits with Islam, and the Islamic view of what the original gospel must have been is that Jesus didn't die on the cross, he didn't rise from the dead. He never claimed to be divine, didn't claim to be the Son of God. Is there anything supporting that in the manuscript tradition?
Absolutely not.
So in all, how many manuscripts, Greek manuscripts, are we up to, by the way?
It's 5,839, and then we have about 15,000 to 20,000 manuscripts of other ancient languages, plus over 1 million quotations by church fathers. We can zero in very, very well on what the original text said.
So really the reason that we have so many textual variants is because we have such a massive manuscript tradition.
Yeah, it's called an embarrassment of riches. We have, if you stacked all those manuscripts and versions up, it would be over 6,600 feet high. The average classical Greek or Roman text, it would be no more than 4 feet high because there's no more than about 20 manuscripts for most of them.
So in all of the manuscript tradition, we never get away from a Jesus who dies on the cross, rises from the dead, claims to be divine.
Absolutely not. In fact, you get very early manuscripts. Take John 1:1, for example. In all of our manuscripts, in all languages, it says, "In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God." Now, there's a couple of differences in two 9th century manuscripts that are a little different in Greek, but it's not going to be a difference in translation. That's it. That's a pretty strong verse, and it goes back. We've got it in P66, which is written somewhere between 175 and 200, long time before the Council of Nicaea and before when Muslims typically want to say this is where the deity of Christ was invented.
So can we say, with your expert testimony, that Muslims who believe that as you go back you could eventually get to some gospel that confirms Islam and shows that Christianity was later corrupted, Muslims who believe that are doing so completely against all of the available evidence, and they have to do so completely by faith, and a faith that totally contradicts the evidence we have? That's
exactly right, and Bart Ehrman would agree with me on this. In the paperback edition of his Misquoting Jesus, he was asked, why do you think that the major tenets of Christian orthodoxy have been distorted by the scribes? And he said, I don't believe that. There is not one single essential cardinal doctrine that has been changed by the scribes. That's what Ehrman says. So he's the authority, the source for so many Muslims, but he's not saying what they think he's saying.
So the very source that Muslims are quoting to show that there's something that supports Islam would actually say, no, there's no way this supports Islam.
That's exactly right.
All right, thank you, Dr. Wallace. And you Muslims out there who think there's something that supports you in the manuscript tradition, you might want to think again.